Hi, guys. So, welcome back to the How Can You podcast, where we dive deep into the minds of entrepreneurs, figure out how they got where they are so you can hopefully do the same thing. So, today I'm here with Rafi. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Rafi Cedeno. I'm a mental performance coach and gold trader. And yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. So, I want to first dive into kind of your early days of what shaped you to be the person that you are today. What kind of made you tick to be an entrepreneur, right? Because I find a common trait with entrepreneurs that there's something that happened in their life or they didn't quite fit in. There's something there, right? So I kind of want to know what that is. So would you like to dive deep into that kind of?
Yeah, definitely. So, I was born and raised in Venezuela. So I pretty much, grew up doing sports. My grandpa was a boxing promoter, so I grew up doing a little bit of boxing. I grew up doing track, swimming, and baseball. Baseball being the primary, the main sport. So when I was 15, I started getting recruited by the Houston Astros, and then got hurt, didn't make it very far. And then the New York Yankees were interested as well, got hurt. That was it for me, right? So one of the hitting coaches said, "Yo, you're gonna have to go to college if you want to continue to play baseball. You're gonna have to go to college." I'm like, "Okay, great." So did my thing, did all the paperwork, send the videos, whatever. I got a scholarship to go and play college baseball in the U.S. and that's it. I started to playing. I started playing ball. Things didn't go as planned. I ended up stopping playing the game. Graduated, went to grad school, graduated, moved to Kansas City, and here's where things turn kind of interesting. Um, I went to school for acting. Okay, and obviously when you move to Kansas City is not an acting town. So I started applying for jobs, man. Like I applied for McDonald's, Subway, Wendy's. The thing that you might think that you're not gonna get rejected, I got rejected. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, why am I getting rejected? They said that I was overqualified because I had a master's degree. So I'm like, wow, this is BS. I applied for a painting company. They didn't have people. I applied for a concrete construction thing. Didn't have spots. Like literally, no jobs for me, right? So I was like, man, this is messed up. I was married at the time, so I'm like, you know what? She's having a little bit of income. I'm gonna continue to find something to do. So I was already out from baseball for like 4 or 5 years, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna go back to that. I'm gonna reach out to the colleges in the area and see what happens. I sent 4 emails. Out of the 4 emails, 3 interviews right away. Boom. On the first interview that I went to, got the job on the spot. I'm like, yo, this is a sign or what? So I started coaching. It wasn't a paid job. It was a volunteer kind of thing, which helped because I got a lot of experience. Okay, so this is where mental performance came into play. In college, coming to the U.S. as a Venezuelan, not knowing the language, coming into a town that is predominantly white. I was the darkest thing that I've ever seen. Didn't speak the language. There was a lot of racism.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming from Venezuela, not knowing the language, not knowing how to communicate with people, culture shock, um, the weather, all of the above, truly got a huge hit in my mental being. Right, my confidence went just down the drain. Couldn't play, couldn't even catch a ball. It was really bad. Not to mention the coaching staff. Okay, it just I didn't translate with the coaching staff. So when I got the opportunity to coach, I saw all of that. I saw all of that in me, and I'm like, okay, they're giving me the opportunity to help these guys, right? So I started, studying a little bit, the psychology of sports and all that kind of stuff. And I was grateful. I am grateful enough that the head coach that gave me the opportunity to coach, he's a huge mental guy. So he told me, hey, go here, go here, go here. Study these guys. You're going to be in charge of working with the catchers. You're going to be in charge of being a role model in the team. And you're going to be doing a lot of mental stuff as well. So, like, man, I just went deep into, studying. We went to a bunch of coaching conferences. And that's where everything started. Okay, so one of my friends, he's an agent. One of his guys got called up to the big leagues. He came up. He came to the big leagues, started playing in the big leagues, and you know, through time, I started working with this guy, Major League Baseball guy, future Hall of Famer. Um, so I was working with a Major League Baseball guy. I stopped coaching at the college. I was running a baseball facility, and being in that environment, I started seeing how much the mental side of things is so important. Okay, like I was in the Big Apple, right, with Major League Baseball players, seeing it everything, championships, big stars, right? Then seeing the little guys, high school, college, right? It's similar. These guys are doing at the highest level. These guys are doing the same thing, not so high, but it comes down to the same thing, which is the mental, right? So I started, getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the mental performance stuff, and it came into a point that I was like, bro, I just feel like I'm burnt out. Like, it's like there's something bigger out there. There's something, there's something that I can do to help more people. So thankfully enough, COVID hit, right? And the guy that I was working with, he got hurt. He was out for the year. So that gave me some time to reflect. Okay. The biggest turning point for me was my dad. He was in a really, really delicate state. And I saw that, he was in Venezuela, not doing well, and I didn't have enough finances to help him. Okay. So I'm like, oh, shoot. So here we are. Pretty much, giving my time for money, right? But I'm not making enough to help my dad. Okay. And to cover my bills, and my mom moved to Kansas City. So I was supporting my mom, my dad, myself, plus your own debts, And I'm like, bro, this can't be real. Like, I'm putting like fucking way too many hours, and I'm not making enough. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be like my dad in 40 years. I got to make a change. That's when I said, how can I be my own boss? How can I set the rules? How can I work the same amount of hours for something that is mine, something that I can create, that I feel proud of?
Yeah.
So like I started working, thinking, got into drop shipping. I got into online marketing. I got into all kinds of stuff. And I told my guy, I said, bro, listen, you're making, big living. You're set for life. I got to do something on my own. I gotta bounce. I gotta do my own thing. He seemed happy. He supported me and all that kind of stuff. And I took off. So me and my wife were thinking what we want to do. We're like, we want to get out of here. We want to go somewhere else. She's like, let's go to Bali. I'm like, let's go where? Bali, bro. Like, there's no baseball out. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? This is part of the journey. Let's go. Interesting thing. A month before because we sold everything and we came here, a month before we actually flew to Bali, I was in a meditation and I saw an image of my grandpa telling me, whenever you grow up, make sure you exchange your money into another currencies. That's where the secret is. And I was like, what? Just thinking about it, didn't pay attention too much. He kept coming back. That same thought, he kept coming back in meditations. So I did my research. I'm like, buying different currencies. Boop, Forex showed up. I'm like, wait a second, this is a real thing. So like I'm thinking, about Forex and all that kind of stuff. Came to Bali, and I remember I was getting a massage at Amo Spa, and I was visualizing and meditating. I'm gonna meet this guy who's gonna help me to find the way and blah 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 blah. Bro, within 3 days, met the guy that got me introduced to Forex, literally. And that's where everything for me started, as in trading. The mental performance side of things, like I said, I already been doing it for a long time. But now I put it, into like Forex and helping some traders as well, and some different athletes on the mental side. So that's where everything started. And now being here in Bali, bro, it's been a whole different journey.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much the jump.
Yeah, 100%. So right now, are you currently like coaching people online, or how does that work?
Yeah. So before we came here, I'm like, how am I going to coach these people? People love me being in the room. Like, like, how is this going to happen? But thank you to COVID, a lot of people took classes on Zoom, so Zoom wasn't as foreign. Like people were more, like, okay, it's fine. We took classes, so it was challenging at first because people were like, "What on Zoom?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's great. It's gonna work, whatever." So now that's how I have all my athletes, all the people that I have is on Zoom. Now they're fine with it. They're cool, and it's super simple actually. It's actually better you think about it because they are present. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to teach like baseball, my teachings came from the mind first. I always talk to the guys, think and feel before, analyzing. Okay. So always was the mind first and to have the body follow. But now that, we're not in a physical space, I can mainly focus on the thoughts, mainly focus on the mental thing because there's nothing for them to get distracted. There's not somebody throwing a ball. There's not somebody hitting. It's just the two of us.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's actually better that, we're doing it one-on-one on Zoom.
Yeah. So you came to Bali and you have this coaching business set up, and then through your meditations, you kind of, through fate, the universe, whatever you want to call it, you kind of got introduced to Forex.
Yeah.
So now you're doing coaching and you're doing Forex.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you kind of balance those two things, how they work, what's your routine, your schedule like.
Well, the beautiful thing is, that I have I've been doing mind work since 2012. Okay. I mean, I've been coaching for 14 years around then. So like, I've experienced a lot of different things. I've gone through, NLP and all different kinds of, mythologies that can help the mind. Now doing trading and doing, the mental performance has pushed me to get my training, my self-training to a whole deeper level. Okay. Because now it's not about me teaching people. Now it's about understanding myself to a deeper level. So like I had to do work around my limiting beliefs around finances. That was something that I never did. Yeah, like I know how to deal with failure and, I can help people to, be a leader and all that kind of stuff. But there were some things that trading brought up into my life that I was not even aware. I'm like, bro, like what is happening? And obviously, Bali is, has that happened to you yet? The Bali washing machine? Has that happened to you yet?
Explain.
Like during full moon, like emotionally, like you shift. Like your deepest secrets, your deepest fears come out to the light. And it's like you go into like this panic mode. I don't know if that's happened to you yet, but it happened to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that happened to me. It's happened to me a lot actually, but for the good, So like now, for example, like in the morning, first thing in the morning, I get my meditation done. Okay. Then after that, based out of if I have calls or not, I get ready for my calls. But if I don't, bro, meditation, get my lemon water, boom, straight to the charts. And not just the charts, but like just study a little bit, see what what the market is doing. I get some of my reading done, and just like I'm my own boss, right? So I can do whatever I want. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I work better in the morning. So like I focus in the morning on that, and then in the afternoon because I need a break, I go to the gym, go to the sauna, go to the spa, whatever, and then I come back again around 2 or 3 for London Open, and there you go, studying, looking at the charts, and it's a grind, bro. I've been putting like 12 to 16 hours a day on the craft.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's intense, bro. It's intense. Well, you can make it intense if you want to. How bad you want it? I guess that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like under 2 years, I'm already funded. So there's a lot of people that I know that have been, trading for 2+ years and still can't be funded. So you just gotta put in the work, man. Put in the time and the work.
Yeah. So when you say funded, what do you exactly mean by that?
So there are companies, platforms, what they're called. Okay. So what they do is it's like a test. Okay. I don't like calling it a challenge because I feel like when you tell the mind it's a challenge, subconsciously you're thinking it's already almost impossible to make it happen. So I don't like seeing it like that. I just like seeing it as a tryout. Okay, you have a tryout, and then if you perform, then you get the job, right? So, so these prop firms, okay, they have accounts. So, for example, this is a 50K account, okay? So you pay $300, okay? They give you the account. So they give you one phase they give you 30 days, depending on who you choose, right? Mine was you had to make 8%, okay, within 30 days. If you make the 8%, you pass to phase 2. You have to make 5% within 60 days. Now, this is where the psychology happens, because you're like, oh, I have more time and I have to make less. I'm going to overtrade, right? People below the accounts, they lose the account, right? So you have to make 8% in the 30 days and then 5% in 60 days. And if you do that, they give you the $50,000 for you to trade. So if you trade on a $50,000, you guys have a split profit of 80-20, and then there you go. It's a lot easier to trade with that kind of capital than starting with $100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah, so I already got funded, and like it's here, the tattoo right here. If you can see it, is December 21st, 2021. That's when I said, I'm doing this for real. There's no plan B. Because that's something, bro, that we have been programmed that, oh, just in case. No, there's not just in case, bro. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's got to work. I'm going to make it happen. This is on my skin, and I'm going to be seeing it. This shark is the same thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I have to cut my art off, if it doesn't work. So I have to make it work. So, yeah, bro. Within a year and 4 months, that's when I got funded. And yeah, man, it's just a beautiful journey. So much learning. Yeah, so much learning.
100%. So what you're just talking about there is like the concept of burn the boats. So a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm just setting up this plan B just in case, right? But I am a strong believer that if you have a plan B, then you don't believe in your plan A enough, and you should just start with the plan B. You might as well, right? So talk to me about that.
If you have a plan B, you're not fully committed.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a perfect example. When you have a guy that has a girlfriend, but he's talking to other girls, right? He's not fully committed to this other girl, and everything that we do is subconscious. Okay? So when we have, for example, a plan B, what is the thing? Well, you're afraid you're going to fail. You are afraid that it's not going to work. And you're not committed to go through the failure.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing plan B, because you think that plan B, the fact that you're going to have to start fresh, it's kind of like it's an illusion. Like, okay, well, it didn't work out. At least I have these. If you see the people that have plan B, they normally have plan C and D.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so which one are you committed to?
Yeah.
Right? And bro, I went to a Vipassana retreat, okay? And this was, have you done one before?
What is it called?
A Vipassana retreat. So it's a meditation retreat, okay? Vipassana is the teachings of Buddha. That's how he became enlightened, okay? So Vipassana means pretty much, seeing things for what they are. That's what it means, right? So it's an 11-day silent retreat where you meditate for 10.5 hours a day. You don't make eye contact with nobody. You eat twice a day. Our meal was rice, salt, coconut oil, and pepper. That was our meal. 7 o'clock in the morning and 11 at noon, 11 in the morning. That's it for the whole day, and then until next day. So I was doing this retreat, bro, and it's like the first day, yeah, you're excited. You're in this beautiful place. I did it here in Bali. On the second day, you're like, what the hell is happening? You see the monkey mind, you start getting, loco. And then on the third day, it's like fucking chaos, bro. It's like loud, and it's like your body starts itching, everything hurts. And then the fourth day is hell. It's like, get me out of here, right? And that's when I had this beautiful picture. Bro, I grew up doing acting because my mom was an actress. I grew up doing singing. I grew up doing baseball, boxing, swimming, track. Which ones of those am I doing today?
None.
None.
Yeah.
And why? because my mom always told me, okay, we're going to do this just in case this doesn't work. Just in case this doesn't work. Okay. So I honestly don't feel like I was 100% committed into the one thing. If I had a bad day, I don't care. I got music. And if I had a bad day in music, I got baseball. I'm a baseball player. So I kept bouncing back and forth, and I never truly faced myself. And you have to face your shit. And that's the reason why trading, for me, it's like it's life or death, bro.
Mhm.
And the fact that you are facing yourself in trading, bro, it's just you and the computer. That's it. There's nobody around that is talking to you. There's nobody around that is telling you what to do. It's you and yourself. And that's when you have to start learning how to commit.
Mhm.
Okay. So, like, we talk about plans A and plans B, bro. It's like, is your plan A scary enough? If it is, you're on the right path. If it's not, you need to change.
Yeah.
If it's scary, if you think that you can't do it, yeah, that's what you need to be doing at the moment, because that's what's gonna take you to the next level.
100%.
Think about this, bro. I came to the US not knowing the language. Okay? You know how many people told me that I was gonna get kicked out? That they were gonna send me back? You can't learn a new language after you're 19. I was 19 when I arrived to the US. My family, a lot of people told me, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. And I said, no, I am gonna do it. And I had no plan B, bro. In my mind, I'm not going back home. Like, if I'm not staying here, I'm going somewhere else, but I'm not going back home, because I knew the situation at home was not gonna get any better. No plan B. Within 6 months, I was already fluent to an extent.
Yeah.
I was already cracking jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Within 6 months. Same thing happened with trading. You know how many people told me that I can't trade gold because I'm not experienced enough? That you need experience? Bro, I pass a funded account with gold alone. That's all I do. And a lot of people told me, no, you cannot do it. Says who? You know what I'm saying? So here's where we go with the plan B and plan A. It's like, I saw the pattern dropping through currencies like Euro USD, GU, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, bro, you're having so many plan Bs and plan Cs over here. Just pick one and focus on that. And that's what I did. And I started seeing results. When I started, focusing on mental performance stuff, I started seeing results. Once you start jumping, bro, like, you're not committing. You don't have just solid plan A. You don't do that. It's just, you're not going to be focused. That's the reason why I don't believe in plan Bs. You got to have plan A and that's it.
100%. It's like, it's insane because I feel like it's almost conditioned in us, right? For example, it was programmed in you from your mother saying, have this, and this. And I feel so many adults nowadays, they just go throughout life with those same programs. And before I started my agency, before I started getting into any type of entrepreneurship, I didn't believe that I could do business because I thought it was too hard. But it was just this limiting beliefs inside of me, right? And it was only until that I learned that I could reprogram my mind that things started to change. Because, yeah, like, if you're not responsible for how you're programmed, but you're responsible for what you program next. So talk to me kind of about, like, programming.
Man, programming. So, we get programmed by friends, by everybody.
Yeah.
From 0 to 7, like, we are living in a theta brainwave, which is, this is where your mind is just completely just recording everything. Okay. What your mom says, what your dad says, their behavior, how they act, how they talk, friends, coaches, teachers, right? So you are getting all these recordings. So from, I would say, 7 to like 11, 12, that's when we start finding evidence. It's like, okay, well, I saw that, let's say, if I do this way, it's not going to work out for me. Okay. For example, one of the programs that, I'm working with a kid, the dad is a doctor, really, really good doctor, okay, in the state that he's from. Well, he grew up that being a professional athlete is really hard, so do not put all your eggs in the same basket, okay? This kid is talented. I think he has the potential to make it to the next level, but he has the limiting belief that he won't be able to make it. Why? Because only 1% of population makes it as a professional athlete. Why? Because his dad has been telling him that the whole time. His dad has been telling him, focus on school first. You cannot put all your eggs on athletics because you might get hurt, you might this, you might that, you might that. Well, the dad never played the game. He never played at a high level. He doesn't see it possible as a thing that, can happen. In the other hand, I work with a Major League Baseball player. I stayed at their house. I lived with them for periods of time. It's doable. I've seen it, people doing it, right? So for me, anybody can do it. It's going to take a level of discipline and commitment in order to do that, okay? So this kid has that programming that, oh, my dad is telling me that it's going to be hard, that it's not going to be possible. So the kid is not committed. Like, he wants to, but he doesn't because his dad is telling him, but he kind of wants to go. His passion is taking him that way. But his dad programmed that you have to believe that it's not possible. So he's having this, voice one, which, there's something that I talk in my program. It's like you got the voice one and voice two, the teller and the doer, right? The teller is telling the doer, it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible, right? The conscious tells the subconscious it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible. The subconscious has no choice. But, okay, it's not possible. Let's not make it happen, right? So everything, bro, everything that you, for example, you have been programmed from a young age, think about this. Are your parents entrepreneur?
My dad is, but it's kind of almost like he just created a job for himself.
Okay. What I tell my guys is, bro, majority of the people that don't believe in certain things will tell you it's impossible. The people that they don't see it for themselves, they're going to tell you, nah, man, don't do that. It's going to be risky. The guys who have done it, they're going to tell you, go for it. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Yo, like, if you talk to a Major League Baseball player and you ask them what's advice you're going to give the kids, they're going to say, 9 out of 10, don't give up. Commit to the craft. Commit to the sport. Be a student of the sport. Every single one of them. Now, you tell a coach that never played anywhere, what's your advice? Focus on school, man, because, this is tough and, might not make it and blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So, like, the people who actually are living the life will tell you, bro, tie up your pants and go for it.
100%.
So, like, that's why when people tell me, don't do it, oh, I'm going to go do it. 100%.
It's like a sign to do it.
Yeah. Oh, man, you can't be trading gold. Oh, I can't? I'm going to go and trade it. Just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it reminds me of something that I started living by, I think, around in high school. That's when I started realizing these things. It's like, these people are telling me this and that, but then I look at their life and I'm like, I don't want that. So my rule is that I'll only really listen to someone on a specific topic if they're living a life that I want to live. If they're in a position that I want to be in, right? So if I'm going to talk to someone about business, they're going to be at a higher level, right? Obviously, that goes to say that I think everyone has something to give in terms of like advice or whatever. I'm not counting everyone out, but in general, like listening to the people that are where I want to be was like the best thing I've ever done. So yeah, you're 100% right.
So think about this. You take a business class in college, right? How many businesses does that teacher actually owns? How many businesses have that person running his life?
Yeah. Most of the time.
Right? You have a guy who is, the leadership coach or something. What group has he trained in Navy SEAL? What has he done? And here we go, he's teaching. How about, bro, this is the worst part. Spanish teachers that are teaching schools, you can't drop this guy in Mexico City. They won't be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And they're Spanish teachers, And if you're a Spanish teacher, man, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, please. But I'm just saying, it's like we go to school. This is the point that I'm going to try to make. It's not that, you don't know the language that much. It's the point that I'm trying to make is we are put on a freaking box, bro. And we have been programmed to believe in certain things, right? And this is why we put people into pedestals, because they put the teachers as an authority figure. Like, oh, this is the teacher right here, and let's say, history teacher. Like, were you in the history back then? Like, how do you know about all of this, right? Like, oh, you had to study it, right? So it's like these people that are teaching us things, they know only 50%. They don't know all of it, right? How come there's not an entrepreneurial class in college?
Well, there is.
Is
Even
there?
then, it's like it's still not an entrepreneur.
Well, okay. So what kind of entrepreneurs is the class? Like, what do they teach you? Do they teach you? Do they teach you become a drop shipper? Do they teach you how to run ads? Do they teach you how to, you know what I'm saying, how to create content in TikTok? Don't teach you none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is entrepreneurship then?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it's just a scam, bro.
It is a fucking scam. I think the big, like recently, right, with the like outreach or the release of ChatGPT, right?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
ChatGPT is insane, awesome. But where I'm bringing this is schools are not allowing ChatGPT. That is like a perfect point, a perfect case in, like it's a perfect evidence that the school system is fucked. They're literally, ChatGPT is in real life, okay? All the people that are running businesses or
Making millions of dollars with ChatGPT. The school doesn't want you to use it because it's plagiarized.
yeah, but it's they're saying, oh yeah, don't use it, you can't use it. They're literally setting them up to fail. If computer programming, right, they can use ChatGPT to help them make things faster, way faster, right? The company isn't gonna hire the guy that can, oh, I can do it all myself. No, the company's gonna hire the guy that can use ChatGPT and get it done quickly and effectively.
Yo, but they're saying I miss money.
Yeah, they're saying, oh, don't use it. That's fucking the perfect example of how the school system's fucked.
Yo, listen to this, man. You know how many kids I went to school for theater? How many of those kids spent thousands of dollars? They got into loans. How many of them are actors today? Maybe one, maybe two. You know, and it's like that's just an example. Like they spent thousands of dollars on a career that they're not doing anything with. How many other guys have done the same thing? Like, oh, I'm gonna go to school to, I don't know, major whatever, and they end up working somewhere else for somebody else. You know, it's like, bro, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, why don't you? And here's the thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna hire a mentor. The coach is gonna charge you $5,000 minimum. Okay. People complain. $5,000. What? Yo, how much you pay? For the year in school? More than that, like 3 times the price, and you get zero. Oh, hold on, no, my bad. You get a paper. You get a bill. So you get something.
A paper, oh my god. Yeah, so like right now, I'm currently reading the Almanac of the Ravikant.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about getting specific knowledge and getting specific skills, right? And he says, business is not a skill. Do not take business to learn business. It's not a fucking skill. Why would you go into business? It's a whole scam. Like, I could go on for hours.
Yo, you know, school. I feel like schools, bro, if schools focused on meditation, spirituality, I would say a little bit of psychology, okay, to understand yourself, to we talked about emotional intelligence in that video, right? And emotional intelligence is such a powerful thing because you start seeing yourself, you start understanding yourself, your surroundings. So it's like when I see that you get triggered, I understand why you're getting triggered and I know how to come around it so we don't have big beef, right? So it's like, okay, well, our relationship doesn't get a hit, right? And that's the reason why a lot of friendships and relationships go south is because emotional intelligence is absent. People don't know what that is, right? But if schools focus on meditation, why meditation? Because we live in an extremely loud society. There is social media, there is trash on TV, there's all kinds of stuff, man, that are just polluting your mind, like literally just toxic things. So that's all you're seeing. So like meditation is like going to the gym, but for the mind. That's what it is. It's just training the mind to detach. That's what it is. Okay, so if you can learn how to do that, if you can learn how to quiet the mind when it's getting really loud and busy, you learn about emotional intelligence. Now you're gonna be able to be more sufficient human being. There's not gonna be so much suicidal rates anymore. People are not gonna be so depressed. If you can learn about sales, okay, because everything in this life is sales. You're exchanging for something, right? And if you can learn a skill, for example, learning the charts or understanding how price action works, you're gonna have a chance to do something in your life. Because those skills, like that's what separates you from everybody else, right? Of course, you teach that, and then they give kids to become an athlete or whatever. Then that's up to you. But I feel like those tools that I just talked about, mentioned, those things everybody need to know. Need to know those skills will get you out of trouble. Sales, knowing yourself, personal development, okay, and learning the charts. If you're gonna invest on, for example, Bitcoin, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have somebody manage the money for you. There's nothing better than knowing where your money's going, knowing what you're doing, where am I headed, when am I gonna get out, when am I gonna get in, right? That's that's what you want to do, right? Be your own boss. So I feel like schools, man, that's what they need to focus on, not the other crap.
It's funny too, because like, for example, a kid that's about to go into school right now for, let's say, some type of engineering. Let's say it's an 8-year program. In 8 years, there's going to be a much more sophisticated and way better performing AI model that's going to do all of it. So they're going to come out and it's going to be completely worthless.
So AI, this is just me thinking. Do you think it's 100% good?
I think there's two sides to the coin. Yeah, I don't think it's 100% good because it's obviously going to be used for bad, and probably already is. Like, for example, there's this one scam. If you put out any type of like speaking on the internet, they'll clone your voice and then call your parents or your family or someone and say in your voice like, "Hey, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money," type of thing.
Oh shoot. Okay, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, it's like, it's gonna be like, for example, how many people nowadays know how to read a map? Because we go to Google Maps and the GPS takes us to the place that we want to be, right? And look at that. It got me lost. I'm like, okay, well, I have to get on my thing and start asking people, hey, where is it, right? But I think like that's what's gonna happen with Chat GPT. It's like it's going to numb the one side of the brain that is gonna help you to create things. It's a muscle, bro. It's like, okay, so when you have Chat GPT that saves you time and effort, I feel like that side of the brain is gonna be dormant. So like, what's gonna happen to the race society? Not right now, but in 20, 30 years.
I think so. In the book that I just mentioned about Naval Ravikant, he mentioned that nowadays, this book was published years ago, but nowadays it's not rich versus poor, it's unleveraged versus leveraged. But I'm gonna spin that in the sense that you know how to use AI, or you have access and can facilitate AI the way you need to. You do it, or you don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be kind of like it's either you do or you don't, and it'll separate people.
Yeah. No, I mean, there are so many things, that I feel like you have to be conscious. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people fall into the trap, because people don't have the awareness, don't have the consciousness, and they just get consumed by, we live in a microwave society, bro. Everything is fast, getting it right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when we have something like this that could affect people who are not conscious and aware, is that it could actually backfire on you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me thinking. So yeah,
I think it's like pivoting in terms of like the school system. So like it's still at a point right now because like I'm 19. Most of my friends, people that I know from my hometown, are in university, right? So for me to not go to university, there's still sort of this like stigma around that of like, what are you gonna do if blah blah, you know what I mean?
They're thinking plan B, bro. You don't have plan B. You don't make this thing work. No, that's it.
But I think it's sort of starting to pivot where people are becoming more accepting of the online space, the online courses, the this and that. And eventually, I think it'll get to the point where people will wake up and realize that the school systems are all bullshit. And then they'll just, whatever they want to do in life, they'll just go to the best person on the internet that knows how to do that thing, and they'll learn from them. And I think that will be
People are just, people are waking up already. I have a bunch of kids that I work with. A few of them are in high school, a few of them are in college. They tell me, and they're not into the stuff that we're into, but they're like, bro, school is just, this is just stupid, bro. Like, we're not learning anything. Like, this guy was telling me that he learned the same thing the previous semester, that they're going over a big, what was the thing that he said? An overall review of last semester. So this semester is going to be a whole review so you can have a solid year. So it's like, okay, so you are going through the same thing that you did. It's like you're not advancing, you're not learning anything new. The other thing, man, that I just feel like this is the reason why people are such perfectionists. And when it comes to mental performance, it's like, if you can't deal with failure, you're not going to be able to do much.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we get programmed to be good or to be bad? Based out of a grade, based out of results. Okay. So you take a test. I'm going to tell you, man, I used to, I don't know if I still do, but when I was in college or in school, I got this thing called the test panic attack. Like, I would really study. I will know my shit. Coming to the test blank, completely forget everything. It's like I never studied.
Yeah.
It's like I read the question, like, I don't even know what that is. Like, and then after the test, everything's coming back. Right? So it was like a panic attack. I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people that go through that. Okay? And the reason is because your parents want you to do good. Okay? If you don't do good, then you get in trouble with your coaches, your parents, right? Maybe your friends might make fun of you because you're stupid, you're dumb, right? So now we have this battle, like this perfectionism thing, like, oh man, I can't fail that test because blah, 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 all the external sources, right? That's the reason why I feel like, having like a scale system, like, if you get an A, you're good. If you get a B, you're not good. If you get a C, you're not good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's actually programming us to be perfectionists. And what does that do? It programs us to fear failure. And what is entrepreneurship all about? It's all failure, bro. That's the reason why entrepreneurship, it's so difficult for a lot of people, because we have been programmed from school that if you don't get this result, then you suck or you're not good at it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, failure is just feedback. If you don't fail, how are you going to get better? Like, look at this, bro. Before I came here, I was on a trade on gold, right? And I'm looking at my time. You understand much about trading?
Not too much. I've been trading some meme coins recently.
Hey, that's good. That's a start. But anyway, so like, like I'm still learning. I'm not an expert by any chance, but I saw something, right, that I'm like, I don't think I should get on this trade, because I was waiting for a candle to close below a zone that I was looking at. If it closed below that zone, I'm in. But I saw that it closed on one time frame, it closed in the other time frame, and the small time frame didn't. And I was like, I shouldn't get into this thing. I'm gonna get in anyway, because in the big time frames, it's giving me the confirmation that it's gonna work out. Well, I got in. The shit fucking backfired on me. Right? I needed for that loss to happen, because now I have more than a confirmation. This is the second time this happened to me. Okay? And it was the first time it was similar, I was like, oh, wow. You kind of think about it. It's like when you're fighting, you get a jab, you just, oh. It's like, oh, shoot. And then you get jabbed again. I was like, oh, okay, well, this guy's hitting me with a jab pretty good. I need to do something about it. That was today. Like, I got into that trade. I doubted myself. I'm like, I should probably wait for that candle to close. And I didn't, right? Just experience and, wanted to be in the trade and FOMO a little bit.
Yeah.
the thing didn't give me what I was looking for. Backfire, took a loss, right? So happy that that happened because now today I'm a little more powerful. I'm a little more stronger when it comes to my strategy because I know when I see the setup again, I have to wait for all time frames to do the same. Then I'm in, right? I needed that failure, bro. Yeah, well, unfortunately, it cost me money, but you know, that's what it is, man. You gotta pay your price.
Part of the game.
That's what it is.
So, you said something there about FOMO. I kind of want to talk about that because a lot of the viewers are younger demographic and they're trying to figure out how to get into this space or how to make it, right? That's why the podcast is called How Can You? So I want to talk about there's an aspect of FOMO that a lot of kids my age or younger go through in terms of what to focus on. So, for example, a lot of my friends back home, they're always going out and doing this because everyone's doing it. They don't want to miss out, right? Instead of staying home and doing what they know they should do. So what would you recommend to overcome FOMO and do what you actually know that you need to do type of thing?
Yo, that's simple. I sincerely, I'm gonna say, man, you're feeling, that's an emotional thing. You're feeling FOMO. When you think about FOMO, you start thinking, if you think about, let's think about this, just so they can see in the example. When you think about FOMO, right? Just think about it. What's something that you feel FOMO on sometimes?
I think it used to be a lot of like going out, seeing girls, people.
Okay, let's talk about that. So,
Yeah.
all right, Johnny calls you. Tight. Hey, yo, let's go out, man. It's Friday night, all that kind of stuff. And then you're gonna say what?
Back then or now?
No, you say something that is gonna create FOMO.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Okay, you're gonna say, yo, let me call you back because I gotta do a couple of things. And he's like, all right, bro, cool. Just give me a call whenever you decide. This is you asking for time, like, should I go, should I not? Because at the time you already knew that you shouldn't go, but FOMO kicks in. It's like, oh shoot, my friends are inviting me. Hold on, let me play it out. Hey, let me call you back, bro, and I'll let you know. So here you are, you're sitting like this in your couch thinking, yo, Melanie, Stephanie are gonna be there. They're hot. Gosh, man, well, maybe I can talk to one of them. Maybe we can, I don't know, get her number. We can maybe hook up. Then my boys are fun. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now you're doing this for somebody else. Okay? So the thing is, like, whenever you think about all of these things and you start feeling FOMO, the main thing is dissect it. What am I feeling? What is the thing that is triggering me to make this decision? Okay, so FOMO is a girl. Maybe acceptance from your friends. Maybe a good time. What is a good time? Going, getting drunk, passed out is not a good time. Okay, I mean, you're feeling like shit next day, right? So I don't consider that a good time, but some people do. Is that what you're after? Maybe, maybe not, right? So the thing for you to think about is, do I want to be like everybody else, or do I want to be different? We have been programmed on being different. You're a weirdo. You're weird. I want to be fucking weird, bro. Like, really fucking weird. Because the weird people that actually delusionals are the ones that are making it big.
Yeah.
Just think about Jeff Bezos. Fucking selling books online, bro. That was his vision. I'm gonna start selling books online. What? Selling books online? There's millions of libraries. Why are you gonna sell books online? Well, you had a vision, obviously. Look at Amazon now. Delusional.
Yeah.
Right? Think about Steve Jobs. Delusional. Touchscreen thing? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Every person, bro, that you think about that has done big things, they're all delusional. They're all weirdos. So when you're feeling FOMO, you feel FOMO. What would a weirdo do? Would a weirdo go, get drunk, waste a bunch of money on something that doesn't really matter, doesn't give you any ROI, right? Or will you stay and work on your craft so you can get closer to the goal that you want to? Bro, I'm telling you, I don't go anywhere. You don't see me around Bali, bro. You see me just at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Random times. I'm not very specific on when I go because, you know, I don't go out. Why? Because I'm sacrificing time right now. That's my bill. I'm paying time. I'm exchanging time in order to get to the level that I want to be. In 2 years, bro, I'm gonna be getting a massage in a yacht in Dubai. And I can because I already put in my time, right? So that's when I think I have, some of my friends like LJ or some of those guys, hey, let's do something. Oh, yeah, bro, I'm not going. They're asking to go eat. Yo, I already ordered my food. I'm good. I'm staying in. Not because I want to be an antisocial, just because I'm laser focused. So when we're talking about FOMO, okay, I want you to think, am I reacting based out of an emotional response, or am I going because I truly want this? Those are two different things. If it's pure emotion, you shouldn't do it. Anything that is emotional, majority of the time will cost you something. Look at me today on that trade. I acted emotionally, it cost me a loss. Okay, every time you think about it, the times that you acted emotionally, impulsively, it cost you something. Okay, so if you acting based out of emotions, don't do it. That's the thing.
I like that.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like kind of talking about the concept of delayed gratification, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're practicing delayed gratification. So you're not going to get that instant pleasure now because we live in a society that's just full of instant dopamine hits, instant gratification.
The microwave society, bro, what I called.
Yeah.
It's like everything instantaneous.
Yeah.
Oh, do it.
But you're doing the hard things now. You're making those sacrifices now. So then later you don't have to. But most people, they're making the easy choices now. They're living the easy life now. But later they're going to have to make the hard choices and they're going to live a hard life. So talk to me about why do people, because a lot of time it takes them until they have to make those hard choices, until they have that hard life to wake up and change. Why do we do that?
Because, like I said before, man, our instincts, our consciousness has been shut off with the water that we drink, the fluoride that we take. Our third eye is like knocked out. Okay, we don't like intuition is dormant. There's not a thing. Okay, so what happens is we are normally guided. Okay, that's what we call passion. Okay, for example, you have a passion of, doing what you're doing right now, right? I don't think somebody told you, oh, this is what you should do, right? That's the reason why so many people are unhappy in their lives. Because, oh, I want to become a doctor. Why? Because somebody put in their mind that they should be a doctor, right? So in the time that, you are not awake, your level of consciousness is non-existent. Your intuition, you're not in touch with that. Your third eye, not even existent, right? You are doing things that are not in alignment with who you are. We all come in here for a reason with a purpose, okay? So when you are doing all these things that come from an external source, you're not doing it based out of your purpose. So when it comes to a point that you drive yourself into a hole because you're not in alignment with it. Notice the majority of the people that go into a hole, that's when they find themselves. That's when they get that spiritual awakening, what they call. That's when they get that, the consciousness. Oh, they found meditation, or they found plant medicine, or they found whatever, something they found. They become awake, right? They started doing personal development. They started doing personal, growth work, and boom, all of a sudden they become millionaires. Why? Because they got in alignment with themselves. That's the reason why majority of the people that fall into a trap, fall into a hole. Yo, if none of the things that happened that I mentioned before happened in my life, I would have been back in the US doing the same thing that I was doing for 9 years. Was I happy? I'm gonna be honest. I was 10% happy. Okay, because I was making money. Okay, I was, working with a Major League Baseball player. Him and his family were great to me, and I'm deep grateful for the experiences that we had together and everything that I learned from him and from the people in my surrounding. But I honestly feel like that was not my call. You see what I'm saying? So like I truly felt every day empty. Me showing up with a fucking mask in my face, like pretending that I was happy. And that was not me. Me running the academy. Yeah, I love helping kids. I love, seeing the kids succeed, but is that what I'm here for? I don't think so. I think there's something bigger, there's something better, right? For example, I found trading, bro. I don't think I've ever been as happy as I am now. Just like being able to understand, like just being able to get in touch with myself to that level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of that had to happen in order for me to be where I'm at right now. And majority of the people is just like that. You have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you haven't discovered it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for people, man, like if you are in a if you're in a spot that you are in a tough position, you feel like you're not gonna get out of this, you feel like your life sucks, let me tell you what, it doesn't. All you gotta do is just look to the left, because we're just focused on this side. If you change your perception on your things change. Okay, so if you think that, oh man, this rain is terrible, this rain, or you can say, you know what, this rain is beautiful, is feeding more plants so we can have more vegetables, right? It's making the weather a little better, right? Like it's how you see things. If you change that, if you change what you see, everything's gonna change.
100%.
So if you hit rock bottom, bro, see the bigger picture. Because what happens is we hit rock bottom, we kind of come back up, and boom, we come and drop again because we're not willing to change. And that's why your consciousness is telling you, yo, you need to get out of here. You need to change. Make a change right now. That's what hitting rock bottom is.
100%. So just before you were talking about how a lot of people are living unfulfilling lives, and it seems like you were kind of living some sort of an unfulfilling life, and it made you feel depressed of sorts. And when you you go to the doctor and you say, hey, I'm depressed. I say, no worries, it's just a chemical imbalance. Here's some pills, take these, it'll make everything better. What are your thoughts on the chemical imbalance thing?
That's why I said the school needs to, bro, the medicine is in us, bro. Water and air, that's our medicine. I feel like fasting is such a powerful thing, that how come they don't talk about that in school, right? They actually have you breakfast, yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? And then a little lunch in here and there, right? So it's like 4 meals. And I'm saying that is because everything is within us, okay? And that's the reason why meditation is such a powerful thing, because when let's think about depression, okay? I mean, have been studies, and this is going to be very, very touchy for some people. And if you're a doctor, and you're going to probably, have your comments, and guess what? We live in a society where we can have our own opinions, right? So I don't say that you're right. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that this is what I believe, and this is what I fall for, right? So I will talk about depression. Why are people depressed? I'm telling you, because I've dealt with a lot of people who are depressed, okay? And I somehow, no medicine, I managed to change the reality. No medicine. So this is the reason why I'm not sure about the medicine, okay? But if you think about depression, why do people get depressed? Fine, like, have you been depressed before?
I've had I think so. In terms of like I felt down or I felt in some sort of funk, but I think it was ultimately because the way that I was living, my lifestyle, what I was consuming, whether it be food or in my mind. But now that I'm not consuming bad things for my mind and myself, and I'm actually creating something, I don't get these depression anymore.
Right. So when you think, like, well, in your experience, it was based out of, again, the external sources. What is you in your surrounding? You are in so detach with yourself, bro. Like, you are just thrown around by what you are seeing. That's creating a perception, right? The one of the jobs from the mind is to find answers. Okay, the mind's job is to think and to find answers, right? So when we see on Instagram that your best friend is going out with a bunch of buddies that you know and nobody's inviting you, right? How are you gonna take that?
I mean, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, why am I not cool?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're gonna go into this rabbit hole. Okay. What people don't understand is that sometimes we're not in alignment with other people. Okay. So when we're not in the same vibration frequency, people don't want you around them. It's not you as a person. It's the frequency you're vibrating on. Okay. So like, yo, let's bring Ty. I'm like, yo, Ty, come on, man. Why not? I don't know, man. There's something about him. What is it? Is it that he's mean? No, it's just something about him. It's just your vibration. People are not in tune with the same vibration, right? So you're gonna come into the room, people are gonna feel weird. We don't want the person who's gonna mess up the vibration. We have a vibe here. This person comes in, he ruins everything. No, we don't want him here. It's not you as a person. It's your vibration. And how do we change our vibration? Number one, what you eat. Okay. Number two, the kind of thoughts you're having. If you're having toxic thoughts, you're gonna pretty much, affect your frequency. Are you dehydrated? Because here's the thing: people drink soda, tea, or coffee as in replacement of water. We are 70% made out of water, bro. Like, we need water. Okay, the brain is 80% alone made out of water. Okay, so you're dehydrated. Okay, so you're dehydrated. Now your thoughts are being really foggy. What are you eating? All these processed kind of foods and fast food or whatever. Okay, so you're dehydrated, eating shit, right? Are you active physically? No, you're not. Okay, are you sleeping well? No, you're not. Okay, maybe you're smoking a little weed. Okay, so now it's like, oh shoot, no wonder why you're depressed. And not to mention that, you are not in touch with yourself. Okay, so it's like there are little things here that, you know what I'm saying, like, affect who you are as a person. So, like, the majority of the people, man, that I worked with that go into some sort of depression, the main thing that we do is, let's create a mental picture. When we get into the mental picture creation, we see that the person that they see of themselves is not even them. So no wonder why they're feeling depressed, because they don't like what they see, so they don't like themselves, right? So when you don't like yourself, what kind of frequency you're vibrating on? A lack, dislike. You are going to attract more things that are going to make you feel the same way. So that look at this. That doesn't lie right here.
Yeah.
Everything that you are feeling in that moment, everything you are processing right here, that movie that you keep playing over and over, that becomes your reality. Now you start believing that you are a fuck up. That, oh, I'm weird. No, you're not weird, bro. Let's change the mental picture. Okay? Once we change the mental picture, let's start working on finding evidence of that mental picture that is real. Okay? And then we're going to do the meditation practice. Get in touch with yourself a little bit. Okay? Because, bro, when was last time? Well, you probably do it, but for people out there, I'm going to ask you, like, when was last time you sat 5 minutes with no silence, or with silence, no phone, no distraction, just you and yourself? When was last time you did that?
Yeah. Every time you're bored.
I'm going to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, just put the phone away, shut off the mind, okay? We are constantly consuming, and that's the reason, again, you start creating a mental picture of things that you are perceiving. You start going into comparison. Then the perfectionism kicks in. Then you don't like your body. You don't like how you talk. You don't like your accent. You don't like so many things about yourself. You go into self-destruction. You know? So the medicine, I was working with this baseball player, bro. And he was like, yo, I'm sick of this medicine. He told me, these medicines, man, I feel like they just make me crazy. they're antidepressant, but I feel like when I take them, I just go nuts. I'm like, okay, well, stop taking them. But if I stop taking them, I get worse. Well, we're going to be worse for a while because obviously your body's depending on them. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of Zen practice on this one and just observe. Just write things down. Just observe. Do not react to anything. Just observe. He says that was one of the hardest things for him to do for 2 weeks. But after that, he feel like he just went over the hurdle. Like everything started making sense. And I guess he was diagnosed of severe depression. This kid today doesn't need the pills, doesn't take them, has ever needed them ever again. He's going to a really good program. He's doing great for himself. And all it took was awareness. That's all it took. That's simple.
100%. I think too, it's like another trait of these people that are taking these pills is it's not their fault.
No.
I don't know what's wrong with me. It's not my fault. It's this or that. But
yo, just like the school system, the pharma system is messed up. Okay, look at the thing that they're feeding you out there. Okay. Yo, back home, back in Venezuela, for you to get a surgery was because your neck was hanging. It was about to fall off. And, like your hair was about to fall off. You need a surgery to get the whole thing, zip up. That's when you needed a surgery. Like your arm is completely shattered. They have to reconstruct your arm. That's when you needed a surgery. In the U.S., bro, you fall and you have a bruise. Oh, you need a surgery. Everything is a freaking surgery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because we go to the medicals, So it's like, just think about this, for example, bro. A 7-year-old already giving them prescription for glasses. You're 7, bro. Like your eyes are not even developed fully yet. Why would you need glasses when you're 7? You know what I'm saying? And again, you guys are you're a doctor or whatever. You're pissed off right now, and I'm sorry you feel that way. You gotta check in. But it's just like I want you to understand that everything is being programmed like that. Like Joe Dispenza, yeah. Yo, Joe, if you haven't or you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, look him up. This dude, man, like, he wasn't going to be able to walk ever again. Okay? I mean, there's not going to be surgery. There's not going to be medicine or anything that was going to make this man walk again. And look at him now. Right? I mean, that's just a simple example. I don't need to even give you more examples. Like, that's more than enough of what we're capable of doing. But again, the fluoride and the water that we drink and the food that you consume, the things that you see, the music that you listen to, bro. The music nowadays, they are being made into a different hertz vibration. Yeah. That if you listen to some of those artists, just by listening to the tune, you already go into your vibration drops. And then you start thinking, oh, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling sad. Yo, it's just your frequency just dropped. That's it. It's nothing with you. It's nothing chemical. It's just, it's just like the radio. Like, you just move. You just got out of alignment with the tuning. You just got to tune it back up, and that's it. So just think about that. You got music. You got food. You got the water. You got the fluoride. You got so many things out there, bro. No wonder why people are feeling like that.
100%.
That's the reason.
I think I read this thing the other day, and it was like 80% of universities don't even require doctors or medical students to take a nutrition class. And then we'll talk about doctors. I think almost most of them in the Western world at least get informed on a drug from a sales rep. When I heard that, I was like, something isn't right here. Like,
bro, there's so many glitches on this thing. Like, there's so many errors, It's like, okay, so how come nutrition is not such a big thing? Yo, how is it possible that a salad in the U.S. costs more than a cheeseburger? How is that even possible?
Yeah.
How can that be possible? I don't understand it. So it costs more money to be healthy than not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to eat healthy, bro, like, you eat vegetables, and fruits, and but that costs a lot more money than just eating chips and the other stuff. Like, look at the sodas, bro. Like, they're super cheap, and you want to get like really good water, it costs like probably half the price of the soda.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't get it, bro. And it's just like that, It's like, yo, technically, they're just programming to you be sick.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, they want you to be sick mentally, physically, spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, yeah, you gotta do something.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
And guess what? That's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship. Because I'm not gonna say every, because I don't know every entrepreneur out there, but I would say a majority of the entrepreneurs that I know are on this work.
Mm-hmm.
They already become conscious and aware that there's a trap out there, that this is a scam, that a lot of the things that you have been programmed from a young age is just for you to be in the rat race. That's pretty much what it is. You actually work to pay bills and to make, it's like you're working, paying bills, saving just in case you get sick, because that's the mindset that they have you, just in case, something bad happens. And it's like, okay, but you're not really actually working to enjoy your life. You're working to live in fear, because you never have enough. And if you have a little bit, you need to save it just in case your car breaks down or you get sick, because hospitals are outrageous. So it's like you are constantly living in panic mode. And when you live in panic mode, what kind of vibration is that?
Very low.
Very low vibration, right? So now you are panicking. Have you read the book, The Body Keeps the Score? Yo, you gotta look it up. You guys look it up. But just to kind of like, briefly kind of explain, any anger that you keep through the years stays in the body. It doesn't go away. Okay? Any sadness or anything, any emotion that is trapped in the body over the years becomes into a sickness or illness. So when you're living into panic, for example, you have been your whole life living in panic mode, that's going to come in form of some sort of cancer, or it's going to come in some sort of like disease, right? Just think about this. Which is the sickest country in the world?
United States.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Yo, like, for example, here in Indonesia, bro, it's really rare for you to see an overweight person. Very, very difficult. You might see one that is kind of big, but overweight, you don't see that. They're happy. These people are so happy. It's insane. Like, the level of happiness and gratitude that these people have, bro. It's insane. They don't even have as much as people in the U.S. have. And people in the U.S. are not happy. They're angry. They're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just gives you, it's like, what's so different here? There's a lot. There's a lot of spirituality here. How people eat here, the weather, right? Like, everything that people do here, people are in touch with the land, which that's not a thing out there, So it's like, bro, like, you gotta start thinking about these things, man. Like, I mean, you just hop on a car, go to your job, from the job into the car, into the house. It's like, when do you go out and get in touch with nature? When do you have time for yourself? When do you do something for yourself? Right? These things are as important. That's why people feel depressed. Not in touch with the land, not in touch with themselves. They're not doing something that makes them happy. They're living in panic mode, always worried. It's just like, bro, just low vibration, all the above.
It's crazy that we're talking about this, because some people watching are gonna completely dislike what we're saying.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you don't like it, man. It is what it is.
It's like, for example, I posted something, I was talking about how I think chemical imbalance is a lie. I got these people responding me, sending me articles and this. And I was like, those articles, they don't mean anything to me. What the data that I'll listen to is real life. What do I see around me? I see people that are working on themselves day in, day out, eating healthy, doing all the things you said. They're not depressed. They're not this, you know? And it's like, that's what I listen to is the real life data, because all those studies, most of them are funded by a pharmaceutical company anyways, it's just like listening. It's like holistic, listening to actually what's real, not what they tell you is real.
Yo, we have a brain for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, um, I just feel like there are people out there getting paid to play mind games. So like that's the reason why I would say, um, don't don't believe everything that you read. Take it as a consideration, explore it, find data for yourself, and then make your own decision. Because I mean, so many people, you know how many people think and say that law of attraction is not a real thing? So many people say that that's a scam, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, is what you believe into, right? If I believe that law of attraction is real, fuck, man. Let me tell you this. When we came to Bali, the borders were closed. And I had this Bali trip planned for a few months. We bought the tickets, Bali being closed, okay? And we were like, you know what? It's going to happen, and it's going to happen. Well, literally, we bought the tickets with insurance just in case we could change it. Bali opened up within 3 days, and it was open for 5 days. We got here, closed down, shut down, completely locked down, COVID. Like, how did we make it here? Like, it wasn't even possible. It was locked down. Like, they opened for 4 or 5 days just for us to come in, and then shut down, and it was locked down for like 4 or 5 months after that. Look at my friend that I just told you about the trading. It didn't happen. It wasn't a coincidence. I truly put my mind into that. I truly thinking I'm gonna manifest, and I said it. I'm attracting this guy that is gonna get me into trading. I'm gonna meet him. Guess what? He was staying in the same place I stayed here in Bali the first month. Like, I was coming out of my room and I see the guy on his computer, and he's like, "There's a chart. This guy is trading. I'm gonna go and talk to him." I said, "Yo, are you trading?" I said, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you trade?" "Oh, I trade Forex." I'm like, "Oh shit." Is it a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. Is the law of attraction real? I believe it is. Some people don't, and that's okay, So the same thing we know with everything that we're just talking about. Is depression a real thing? This is what I think about depression. Depression is nothing but a pure self-perception of yourself. That's what depression is. Which, as you are perceiving these things from the external world, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole, which it lowers your vibration, which it makes you vibrate at that low frequency, which it makes you and helps you see things that vibrate at the same frequency. So if you are sad, you're gonna see scenes that are gonna keep you sad. If you're sad, you're not gonna be seeing, rainbows and teddy bears dancing. You're not gonna see that, right? When you're happy, everything is great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in my eyes, that's what depression is. You have been lowered your frequency, and now you're just vibrating at a low frequency, that everything that you do, it just matches that vibration.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do, in my opinion, is to raise your vibration back up and change your perception. It sounds simple, but it might not be for some people.
Yeah, I think all of what we're talking about is a process. People think that they don't see results tomorrow. They go to the gym today, they don't see results tomorrow, and then they quit. It's like, it's a process. It takes time, but it's just getting 1% better or however much percent better every single day. And then you look back 3, 4, a year later, and you're like,
Yeah.
look at what I just did.
Yeah.
But if you're looking in day to day or week to week,
I just feel like people don't have the patience anymore. And I will blame social media for that. Because you don't see who's an entrepreneur that you admire, you look up to a lot, or
Admire that.
yeah. Who?
Admire that.
Okay. So where was he in 5 years?
5 years ago.
Yeah. You don't know exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of know because you've talked about it, but nobody knows what this person went through. Nobody knows how much suffering this person went through. Nobody knows how much failure. Nobody knew how he felt, right? For example, like The Rock, right? I mean, do you know what he went through to be who he is today?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows, right? So everybody sees that, oh, he's The Rock, he's famous, and he's a good actor, and blah, 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 blah. But what did it take to get there? So nowadays in social media, for example, fellow traders, a lot of traders are showing their Lambos, their planes. They made $100,000 in 2 seconds. That's what people want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you actually get into the work and you just keep getting punched in the face over and over and you see that it's not that easy, people get depressed because they're like, well, how can I do it and he can? You get into comparison. You get into perfectionism. And again, we just talked about this again. It's a cycle. You lower your vibration. You start feeling bad about yourself. You start beating yourself up. And then you start seeing how everybody, because you go from a lack to a lack mindset now. So now you start seeing how everybody have a Lambo or a girlfriend or blah, 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 and how you don't have it. That just makes you feel worse. And now you start telling yourself, oh, I'm just this, I'm just that. It just creates an emotion. It's just like, bro, it's just a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Just over and over again. That's what I'm saying. It's like, can you just focus on where you want to be? That's the reason why, for me, when I work with my guys, the number one thing that we're going to do is a mental picture creation. Because when you create this mental picture, this is something that, for once, is created by you. Like, you didn't choose your name. You didn't choose to go the school that you go to. You didn't choose that neighborhood that you live in. Everybody chose it. You didn't even choose your name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you didn't choose the religion you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like so many things from childhood we didn't choose. So it's like for us to start actually choosing something for ourselves is foreign. So when you create a mental picture, and you say like, I want to be the best broadcaster ever lived, then you immediately think, no, that's impossible. Why? Because there's already somebody that does that, and I'm never going to be that good. Says who? I mean, you could probably be the best that you can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about this while not thinking, it came into a meditation. I'm like, yo, I want to be the best gold trader. Am I going to be? Bro, I haven't even been training for 2 years, right? Am I going to be the best gold trader? I can tell you this. I can be the best version of myself as a gold trader. Am I going to be the best? I just don't know because it's all based out of perception and opinions. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in your opinion, somebody else is going to be a better. Well, how do you know who's the best? You know what I'm saying? So creating that mental picture, it creates this thing that you start believing in. So if you want to be the best at this, what is the best at that would do in this situation? So you start actually following a different picture, not something that comes from the external source. And now that's when you get in alignment with the thing that you want to become. So now it's a lot easier for you to overcome anxiety, overcome, perfectionism and the imposter syndrome and all these negative things that come in from our programming from the external source, because we are mainly focused on the thing that we want to become. Does that make sense? I tell my guys, bro, listen to this. If you want to become that one person, you got to be a weirdo. We just said that earlier. You got to become 100,000% selfish. And people are not going to like this. People are going to say, this guy's an egocentric. And no. Listen to this. You got to become so selfish that no noise gets in here. You're so fucking selfish into what you believe in, what you stand for, and what you want, that nobody else matters. Once you become that selfish person, you become that person, now you can help others. Because you already done your job. See, like, I cannot pour any water in your glass because my glass is empty. I gotta focus be selfish and get up and go out there and get my water so I can give you a little bit. As simple as that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think we touched on a lot of amazing stuff. I think we're gonna get together with LJ and do a podcast all together. We can go deeper in some of these things.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun as well. I think we're gonna end the podcast off with a question where it is, if your younger self was standing right in front of you, what would you say to him?
Man, I would say to him, I love you, bro. And you're better than you think.
I like that. Cool. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'll see you. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.